Did anybody ever tell you that t-shirts are currency? Well, I just did. How you guys doing? My name is Stan Banks from T-Shirts Side Hustle, and I help you start t-shirt businesses from home, wherever you at. And in this video, we're going to talk about ways that you can use t-shirts as currency, and I'm going to give you guys an actual example of what it did for me right after the intro. Okay, let's jump right into it. But before we do, you guys know what I need you to do for me. I need you to like this video, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, because I'm gonna make videos like this all the time. And yes, I mean all the time. All right, guys, before we jump right into it, man, I just gotta know, can I be real with you guys? Listen, this story that I'm about to tell you, it isn't horrible, but some people are going to look at it in some kind of way, and I already know it. But I'm just keeping it real. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys out there have had similar situations where t-shirts turned into currency that you weren't even kind of planning for, right? And it's a good thing to have. So I got this situation where I almost had some t-shirts in Hooters, and let's just get into it. We can talk about it along the way. So what I'm talking about today is not specifically about like you doing business, a customer coming in and you doing business and you returning the product and them giving you money, right? So today I actually dropped off some sweatsuits, 3 sweatsuits to my chiropractor. And this is what reminded me of this scenario, okay? Because I haven't really been around my community and doing things that I normally would do and the ways that I would do business, right? And this conversation will be probably a better off on the Decorator By Nature. So if you haven't followed me over there, make sure you go over there, because I'm gonna talk about a specific scenario on how I got business. And it's not always bad to do things for free, right? Initially, right? But you always gotta have that plant the seed mentality. But without going too deep into it, that situation, which will be on Decorated By Nature, if I have it already or whenever you watch this, it may be linked up in the description below. But that sparked this conversation. So back in 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, I only know the time because Straight Outta Compton came out. And when it came out, man, I went ham. And when I say I went ham, I printed straight out of everything. I'm just riding the wave. This was like one of the first things. Before that time, I was actually against using trends. Like I stayed away from, all the trends at the time with social media and all of that stuff. I stayed far, far away from them things. I wanted to build brands and different things that I was doing that was self-sustaining, right? Weren't like finicky, that didn't actually require something new to be going on. Like some rapper said something and they put it on a shirt. Beyonce did this, put it on a shirt. Like I didn't want to be in that style of business. However, I had this idea for HBCU tees for 2 years. And I had basically this idea where I seen a brand, all right, still like an artist. I seen a brand that made logo flips of drunken college mascots for PWI colleges, universities, right? And that's predominantly white universities or institutions, rather. And I'm like, man, I wish they would make something like that for us, because I thought they were pretty dope and pretty cool. And I was like, man, I actually reached out to them. And then eventually I was like, man, I'm going to do it and I'm going to call it HBCUTs. But what I didn't know, when you dealing with HBCUs and like our alumni don't really like that motto of drunken mascots, it just didn't go well, right? So I just kind of shelved the idea and I was going to come back into it later. And unknowingly, when Straight Outta Compton came out, I was like, you know what? This is the time for HBCU tees. And basically what I did at that point is I printed straight out of every historically black college. Not every one of them, but a bunch of them, right? And it took off like wildfire. I mean, I was selling $10, $15 t-shirts, pre-order for 10, normally 15. And if I didn't have your college, I would make customers for 25. But this was the first time that I jumped on a trend, and it changed my mind and perspective crazy, because this was a niche. This is really what inspired Niches Bring Riches. One of the main reasons that inspired Niches Bring Riches. I was having like $20,000, $30,000 months You know, I think at the end of the straight of Compton run, bro, I was so tired that I just disappeared. All right, so on to the actual scenario. That was just kind of like a little backstory. So I was actually, my friend worked at Hooters. And, you know, I go in there all the time, there's merch in there, and I buy food, I'm eating all of that kind of stuff. Nonetheless, we just hang out, go there, you know, whatever, right? We was allowed to use our discount. So it was like maybe, I don't know, 15% off, but, you know, I didn't eat a lot on campus anyway. So I eat Hooters, I ate, my favorite place is California Tortilla, the best burritos, Chipotle, none of them, they got nothing on this. Moe's, don't matter, none of them can touch this, chips and queso in the burrito. And I would eat like Fridays. I would eat like those 3 places like every night, right? Don't ask me how I could afford it. I just made it happen, right? So actually, this story is a part of how I could afford it after this fact. So I made some shirts for them. I made like maybe like 8 shirts straight out of Hooters. And the day I went in to take them in there, I made them for the cooks. You know, I'm gonna just, you know, take care of the guys. And this one wasn't even in my intentions, was nothing like what it ended up becoming. It was like, man, I'm just going, you know, I like them cool. We always joking and hanging fun. I'm gonna make a bunch of strata stuff. I'm gonna make them. Made a bunch, right? Made like 8, 9 of them. Gave them to the cooks, you know. And the day that I took them in there, the Northeast regional manager of the stores was in the building. So she was like, she came in, she was like, man, I told him, you know, you just made us some samples. And yeah, so he's like, man, that's pretty cool. He's like, man, we need some better merch in here. So I was this close to actually having my merch in the Hooters. He said, come back, I'm gonna be back in town 2 weeks. You know, come back in 2 weeks. Man, why did I go back in 2 weeks and this dude had became like some brand new position that I couldn't even get in touch with him no more. She couldn't really get in touch with him. It was like not like he wasn't responding. Whatever happened, he got some type of promotion and the dude was gone, like literally gone from the area. So nonetheless, so in turn, here's the controversial part, but it's, you know, and like I said, if you have something that you want to talk about where t-shirts turn into a different type of currency for you, put them down in the comments below. So, man, I made them cooks them shirts, and after that happened, I was the man when it came to Hooters. Like, I walk in, I ain't had to order with, you know, whoever. They yelling, yo, what up, Stan, from, you know, across the way. What you want? I was able to get stuff that wasn't on the menu. They had this, like, I don't know if you guys have like Philly cheesesteak. We call them steakums. But they basically Philly cheesesteaks. It wasn't on the menu anymore, but they would make this cheesy cheesesteak sandwich version. Like I would make it at home. And I could get that. I could shrimp, whatever it was. And my bills, if I had a bill, oh, nah, you good, man. But if I had a bill, my bill was like $9. Not even kidding. And that was basically like, oh man, like, and I don't know how long, for a really, really long time, I was the man when it came to Hooters, right? I could go there and just whatever. And all I did was do some t-shirts, and just the experience of spreading some love, and doing something, you know, that literally had costed me probably at that time, I think I did color shirts. It probably cost me $15, right? $15, $20, right? To do what I was doing, right? Screen, sure, I could do a screen, all of that stuff. But, you know, the shirts basically was all it costed me to actually do that. And I almost had them in the store. They was like, man, we needed some better merch anyway. But in this situation, it literally turned into a bill that I don't know how much it was. But back then, you know, I was figuring it out still. I was kind of doing business, but, you know, just trying to, you know, figure things out. But it definitely helped. I was coaching, I was making shirts and doing all types of stuff. But at the time, you know, it was pretty cool, you know, and I wasn't going to like tell on the guys, you know, of course, like I'm the beneficiary of this, but I didn't have the intent. But, you know, when you look out and, you know, people say doing stuff for free, and, you know, doing stuff for free, doing stuff out of goodwill, paying it forward, or, you know, looking out for somebody in turn, you never know what that might do, right? And this is like a crazy situation. It could be looked at in a lot of different ways, but I'm just keeping it real with you guys. So that was pretty much my story, man. T-shirts are currency. If you like this style of video and you watch it this far, let me know down in the comments, man. I watched the whole thing. and, you know, do more videos like this or whatever the case is. If you guys have a question you want to see on Ask Dan the Man, put it down there. If you see something interesting and you want my opinion on it across the internet, put it down there so I can react to it. Let me know what you guys think about the channel. And as always, listen, if you're looking for supplies, check out marathon.supply. This is something that I put together for you guys to shop at so we can put more back into this community and we can do more positive things at events and have a lot of just fun. Once we build this thing up, man, we're gonna have a ton of fun. So check out marathon.supply. Even if you're not ready to buy anything today, go sign up for the email list. That way you can be notified. Man, we're going to start small like we have, but we're going to build this thing up to a supply company that this community, this hustle community, this small business community, the people trying to make a difference in their lives with this business can be proud of, and that can pour back into you and bring you guys way more content than I'm working on now. As you guys know, follow me on Decorator By Nature. If you haven't already, follow Marathon Supply. All of the information is linked up down below. Thanks for checking out this video. This has been your boy Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle. Peace.
The T-Shirt Side Hustle team would like to give a huge shout out to its contributing members.